Good
good morning
morning.
here. Good
How
morning
are you?
here.
Hump
Buenos
Day Wednesday.
dias.
Buenos dias. Almost end of the month. And as always, Bitcoin in the industry is quite exciting for you hardcore builders and the ones who understand what this industry means to the world. So this is a great time to be alive, everyone.
Wow. Good morning, everyone. I'm the Data Lord. This is Jaime. Welcome
Good
to
morning.
Decentralized TV, Crypto and Coffee, where we talk about crypto and we drink about coffee. So
Let's make it count. Indo Crypto. Buenos dias. Buenos dias, señor. We are live.
and this is a live show. Go ahead and be active in the chat. We'll say we'll jive with you. We'll answer questions. Let's get into the price action here.
Nitty
So
gritties.
let me whip it out. Whoop-ah! There you go. Whoop-ah! So overall markets, we're actually pretty green today. Like down the board, 24 hours is green. So why is this? Looks like Bitcoin's got a 5.5% pump here. We'll have Jaime take a deep dive on Bitcoin's price action, but ETH being the little brother is like, no, me too. I'm relevant. We have people actually showing confidence in Binance, despite some FUD going on. We'll cover, and XRP is really getting hot and bothered. People are getting ready for a very confident ruling on XRP. So I think that's what's causing the price action. People are just very focused on all the news and the ruling against Ripple, Nipple, and XRP, and they feel good about it. They feel really good about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good news for the entire industry and, of course, XRP. There are other follow-up decisions in case that it may be, I'm sure the government is going to escalate this now to the Supreme Courts, but it's a good thing that this battle is out there because it's going to lighten up. It's going to give good lighting and a playing field for the industry. So it's good news, guys.
Legal precedents.
Yes.
Now Cardano, we have Charles Hoskinson, basically
paying good money for articles.
But he is also defending crypto in the public eye, and I think that all of that gives Cardano good faith. Dogecoin with the big bonk over here, and then Polygon had an upgrade, which we'll cover. That's our headline for the day, and Polygon holders are feeling good about it. They're like, I think this is good news. We're moving in the right direction. Solana is sort of Polygon's little brother, kind of like ETH is Bitcoin's little brother at this point. And we're seeing it kind of follow, hey, me too. I'm relevant. I'm doing cool stuff. And actually, one of the big things that happened there was Utes. We'll cover that story as well. They finally bridged over. So that's the markets for the day. Sorry, Litecoin, you're a little too far down the list. Wham, wham, wham. And then Jaime, if you would, whoop-ah,
of
show us
course,
what's going on with Mr. Bitcoin.
Whip that bad boy out. All right, guys. So as you can tell on the right-hand side of the screen, it's pretty green. It looks a little busy at the moment. So let me clean this up for you.
What the hell, man?
So you're seeing quite a bit of movement overall on the crypto industry. We are above the 50 moving average. This is the monthly candle. And on the monthly, we're seeing that it is pumping up to this resistance level. This resistance, it's like a cinder block. Remember, we've been speaking about two cinder blocks. One was around the 28,000. Now the second one, which is the biggest one, it ranges anywhere from the 28.5 all the way up to about 31,000, more or less. This is a really thick cinder block. So let me put all those squiggly lines. But you can see where the run-up occurred. There was a bounce, a second bounce, and then we finally fell through. So now let's look at the details, zoom into the details. And on the details, this is what we're watching for, guys. Friday evening. So we still have Conspiracy Fridays and Fuck It Fridays and Dollar Cost Average Fridays show. So we will dive deeper into this event. But this is what we're looking at this very moment. We have an annual and monthly level sitting at almost $29,000. And Bitcoin is rallying up into it. Remember, this is a cinder block, and it'll be more evident once we reach the weekly chart. But this is what needs to happen. If we close just below it or just at this point next month, April will be a decisive month for Bitcoin. As long as we stay close to this, scraping it. If we break through it, though, if before Friday we close above 29,000, that means we're into the cinder block and the second layer. And that is a definitive moment to now see, did it break through? And we wait for April for confirmation. So we're in precisely that instance. Let's zoom in closer now on the weekly. So on the weekly, let me get rid of this that I use for other purposes. Here we go. This is what we're looking for on the weekly. We have that massive monthly resistance right above, remember that 30,000 area? We're running right up into it. We have not pulled back to the 200 weekly moving average. I think for a healthy pullback where you broke through the first single block, you should be able to pull back and then hit your second one. We should pull back into the 200 weekly moving average. Time frame, it doesn't really matter. So it's still a good sign. Bitcoin is pushing forward. At some point, we should come back and test this as support, confirm it as support, bounce off of it, and then really attempt the second punch through the cinder block. So now let's moving on even closer. And this is the chart we've been watching for a while, guys, since January, where we had bearish divergences all the way since January. And we've been seeing price action going up and the relative strength index, the stochastic RSI, showing that it's losing steam. So at this moment, we're running right back into that cinder block. This is a massive, I mean, you can see how beautiful it's been holding it as resistance. The big question is, will it break through or pull back? My bet is because you're actually seeing the strength even lower. It's still low. Unless it breaks through, guys, it's a lower, even less steam reaching up to this point. So here's the rule for safety. For everyone's safety, here's rule number one. You do not long, you do not buy into resistance. Why? Because probabilities based on the lack of fuel at this moment, and we've been hitting that ceiling for a while.
Yep.
It's more likely, it's all probabilities, guys, and do your own research and make your own decision. Once you make your decision, either to long or hold back and wait for confirmation, make peace with that decision. Do your own research. But it's more likely that we do pull back after this final tap into that resistance. Unless there's a black swan event where banks are going under in mass at this moment, I don't see the strength yet to slam right through this. So watch the news. But in this case, personally, I'm waiting for confirmation of that support. So I would expect a drop back down to the 50 moving average on the daily.
Right.
We already had the confirmation on the 200 daily moving average. Now a 50 to come and test as support, which it aligns with this channel, rising channel. So we'll watch it. I believe we should pull back to the 24,500 area before we reattempt it, or maybe further. And that's why we wait for confirmation, because we don't know if it's going to pull back to this level or pull back to the FTX breakdown, which is a horizontal, very strong horizontal. You know what? Let me change that bad boy to green, because now it is support.
Right.
So we either see a pullback to 24.5 or 24.2 or 21,300 or the 200 one more time around 20,600. This would be a healthy pullback. Why? Because now you're pulling your hands out of the wall. and really attempting the final strike to break through above. Of course, we wait for those confirmations. So that's where we're at today in the markets. It's green for the altcoins. Remember when Bitcoin Shark is out and about, all the little minnows are hanging around. Once they see he's busy trying to break this wall, let's go play around. And you see that in the entire industry
Right.
of alts. It's all green, guys. So it's pretty exciting times. Let's go.
Yeah, appreciate that. And I mean, hypothetically, what would we need to really be bearish? I mean, we need something crazy like a major exchange like FTX crashing hypothetically, or
Mhm.
we would need something hypothetically like the US government showing, hypothetically, uh, they don't support crypto, or you need something really crazy like, I don't know, hypothetically, a war in Ukraine or something. We would need some sort of news like that in order to get. Oh wait, all of those things are literally headlines. So like, Bitcoin's strong.
Yeah,
Even despite that, we're seeing upward price action. That's the point, right? The whole.
exactly.
So keep in mind that people believe long term in Bitcoin, and the more unstable the normal world becomes, the more people are like, screw this noise, and they're just gonna get into Bitcoin as a hedge. So
It's beautiful, guys. So it's good times. It's showing strength. Bitcoin is
yep,
doing its job. Let's move on and
yeah.
carry on, guys.
I'm not praying for a storm, but I am saying we can weather it. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
So anyways, I want to say good morning to everybody here. What's up, everybody? What's up, Indo? I see you.
Good
Buenos
morning. Buenos dias,
dias. Yeah,
caballero.
just
Just
Bossy.
Bossy.
What's up,
Good
girl?
morning.
And we got you know,
Boston CEO.
Boston.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
sir.
good sir. And for anyone else in the chat, or not in the chat, in the show, say what's up in the chat. We'll say what's up to you. And anyways, good morning, even if you don't.
Good morning.
You shy little minnows.
And
Uh,
subscribe. That way you know
yeah,
when we're online.
we'll bother you on your front page of YouTube. Yay! So check this out. Our first story. Let's just get into it. Let's get into it, baby.
Yeah,
Let's get
let's
into it.
go.
So, Polygon, beautiful Polygon, set up a new network upgrade. The ZK Snarks, security on the Ethereum virtual machine mainnet beta that goes live today, unlocking limitless possibilities for Ethereum compatible dApps. So, man, this is how you build crypto, man. This is Polygon's, man. This
So
is like
yeah.
architectural standard. Okay.
And if you don't mind, explain a little bit what a DApp
Yeah.
and why
Oh yeah, sure.
ZK. Yeah, for green beans, so I
Yeah,
understand.
totally fair. So this is a decentralized application. So these are applications that run on the Ethereum virtual machines. Okay, and it doesn't have to be on Ethereum. Ethereum created a standard called EVM, where it's basically just a smart contract that runs in a little virtual machine on the distributed computer network, right? So you have Ethereum all over the place. You have Polygon all over the place, and there's these little tiny virtual machines that can run code, and they'll keep running the code until the code terminates, right? And so that's how you make a decentralized application. They run all over the place. It's not on one computer, it's on the blockchain, right? So
So if a website with a DApp in it goes down, does the DApp engine or do DApps go down?
no, it would require the full so as far as where the smart
Blockchain.
contract is running, that's running on the blockchain. Certainly your presentation layer, so like that just what it looks like, the pretty pictures you click on, that could go down, but the actual logic is still running. So
Excellent.
but the big idea here with ZK EVM is it increases the privacy of what's going on inside of that, while still maintaining the assuredness that it's running. So let's read through this. It's pretty cool. Polygon, formerly Matic Network, has launched its anticipated mainnet beta launch of its zero knowledge, that's what ZK stands for, Ethereum virtual machine, ZK EVM. This development is expected to improve the scalability of decentralized applications, or dApps, built on the Polygon network while enhancing its overall performance. According to the official blog post, the Polygon ZK EVM will allow the integration of a layer 2 scaling solution to the Ethereum network. And everyone knows Ethereum needs that help, don't we? Right? uh, This is made possible through the implementation of zero-knowledge proofs, a technique that enables the validation of data without revealing the data itself. Man, this is blockchain at its best. The ZK
Yes.
EVM mainnet beta launch will also bring increased security and privacy to decentralized applications on the Polygon network. With this launch, Polygon will provide developers with a more efficient, cost-effective, and scalable. Those are things Ethereum is not.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Crypto
Infrastructure,
Kitties.
right? Infrastructure to build their decentralized applications. So, what this means is like people can actually build stuff that before they were probably getting blocked by ETH's limitations, right? So, understanding the Ethereum scaling technology. So, Polygon ZK EVM comes with several exciting features, such as instant finality, gas efficiency, and low transaction fees. These features will significantly enhance the user experience for developers, making it easy for them to build decentralized applications that can handle a large volume of transactions without compromising on speed or security. And that has been the issue with Ethereum this whole time. People are like,
Mhm,
well, either like we drop our drawers on speed or we drop our drawers on security, but either way, you're going to lose people if you're
mhm,
doing that. Because I don't know about you, I expect if I send Jaime some crypto, I expect that to be fast and I expect it to be secure. If that's not
mhm.
secure, I'm not cool with that. If it's not
Right.
fast, I'm not cool with that. I'm going to find some other solution, right?
Yep.
So these are like critical components that we can't scoff at, right? Um, Additionally, the Polygon ZK EVM is compatible with existing Ethereum developer tools such as MetaMask. You know it, you love it, or you hate it. Remix and Truffle, making it easy for developers to get started with the technology. This compatibility also means that developers can easily migrate their Ethereum decentralized applications to the Polygon network without hassle. You
That's
hear
good.
that? So if you have apps or dApps rather on ETH that have kind of been cockblocked by ETH just not being very quick to fix its problems, you could easily move it over to Polygon and get back to the show. So you know, developers rejoice. Crypto
Mhm.
hodlers rejoice to the moon.
Unblocking,
To the
unblocking and
moon,
securing.
baby.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Let's go, baby. So the Polygon team has been working tirelessly, and I believe that, to
Mhm,
enhance the scalability and efficiency of its network. The launch of its Polygon ZK EVM mainnet beta is a significant step towards creating a more scalable and accessible infrastructure for decentralized applications, which comes at a time when the Ethereum network is facing significant scalability challenges. Ugh, they really are. And
mhm.
on that specific topic, like even Vitalik at ETH Denver was talking about it. So like they know it's on the front of their mind. They're like, we're shitting the bed. We have to fix this. We at least have to go get some Huggies wipes to clean our little butts up.
And
Uh,
don't throw in the toilet, by the way.
yeah, don't flush them, baby. Don't flush them. They're facing scalability challenges due to its limited transaction processing capacity. And that's where they're getting blocked right here. CryptoKitties was the first, tampon someone flushed, and they had to call the plumber. So as more decentralized applications are built on the network, the need for scalable solutions becomes more pressing. With this launch, Polygon is offering a solution that could help alleviate some of these challenges. Polygon Matic's token seems stuck in a rut as it continues to face a priceless stalemate amidst the broader bearish trend in the crypto market. Despite the community's usual fervor that often triggers a significant surge in the price of Matic, the, the digital asset was spotted trading at a meager $1.03 at the time of writing. The coin had incurred a loss of 6.22% over the last 24 hours and plummeted by more than 12% over the past 7 days. It's nonetheless preserves its status of being a target of big investors, while inspiring hope that the launch of the ZK EVM will serve as a major catalyst, positioning Polygon as the go-to blockchain for mainstream Web 2.0 companies, parenthetically adopting Web 3.0. So
Mhm.
you hear that? Get to building, fellas
Let's
and
do it.
ladies. Let's do it, huh? And yeah, let's see here. On that same note, I wanted to cover this topic here. So NFT collection Utes makes their anticipated move from Solana over to Polygon.
Yes.
Wamp wamp. So this is one of the biggest NFT collections. Like these guys are major league on Solana,
Yep.
and they were like, Solana, you're freaking
I mean,
threatening everything we've built. We're not going to play these games. We're moving to Polygon. So
yeah, and a lot of these moves were triggered with the FTX collab because FTX heavily invested in Solana, so it
mhm,
created a lot of um, reservations from developers. Like, oh
mhm,
man, if our source blockchain is under these problems,
right,
you know what? Let's move to something more legit or with less problems. Not saying that Solana is
right.
doing illegal stuff, but it's just the risk.
Yeah, I mean, if you've built a big successful project, like anything you can do to protect what you've built, you're gonna do. So
Hmm.
Polygon showing a good faith building, you know, they're doing network upgrades, they are fast, they're compatible with Ethereum. So if Ethereum ever makes sense again, then this allows, you know, youths to slip over onto the Ethereum chain if they need to, if there's benefit there. And Solana just doesn't currently have that cross-chain compatibility. So I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion.
Hmm.
But anyways, let's read the news here. So the popular project, which launched in September 22, is using a cross-chain bridge to bring its 15,000 edition generation or generative art collection to Polygon. So uh, popular NFT project Utes has started the migration process from its native Solana blockchain to Polygon network in a movement to speed up transaction times and reduce network fees, which ultimately means more customers, right? More
Hmm.
people interacting with their project. The migration, which began at Tuesday, was officially announced in December after months of speculation. D Labs, the Los Angeles-based startup behind Utes and its sister project D Gods, received a $3 million grant from Polygon to facilitate the move. Meanwhile, D Gods will also migrate away from Solana and plans to bridge over to Ethereum. Utes, which launched in September 22, is a cross-chain or is using a cross-chain bridge to bring its 15,000 edition generative art collection to Polygon. Existing holders can begin the migration process by visiting the Utes website and connecting their wallets. In addition to incentivize holders to migrate their NFTs over to Polygon, D Labs is waiving network fees for the first 24 hours. That's rad.
That's
Um,
good. Yeah.
the team is offering Utes holders a chance to win an ordinals based. That's the Bitcoin
Hmm.
blockchain.
NFTs.
Ordinals based DGods NFT that has been inscribed on the Bitcoin network. Yo yo yo, that's actually kind of rad. Uh, Staking will also be free, and holders will receive $5 of USDC per Utes listed on the NFT marketplace Magic Eden. And Magic Eden has been, you know, the go-to place for Solana
Hmm.
NFTs. So uh, cool to see more than just Solana on there.
Yep.
Holders who do not migrate their NFTs by April 3rd will be subject to a 33.3% paper hands bridge tax, which will result in a fine payable by increased royalty fees. That's so funny.
Yeah.
So
Paper
they'll
hands,
reward
meaning they
you.
don't trust it. What? Don't be chicken shit. Come on, let's do it. Otherwise, you're paying
Yeah.
taxes.
Yeah. It's like, yo, do this and you get a carrot, do this and you get a stick, you know?
And be called paper hands.
Yeah. And they're calling you a crypto puss. You know, so, uh, yeah, the project leader, known as Frank, tweeted that the move does not come without risk. It's like, look, there's risk here. We're doing stuff that
Mhm.
doesn't really have a lot of precedent. We know. I know that's a risk. I don't know what's going to happen today, tomorrow, or throughout the first few weeks, but I know we're going to make it work. The short term might be out of control, but the long term is completely in our community's control.
Yep.
And nearly 10,000 youths have already been moved to Polygon, according to OpenSea. The floor price of the collection is currently hovering around 1.8 ETH, or about $3,200. So, uh, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is going to just give us some technical precedents for what the hell happens if you move a big successful crypto project to a different blockchain?
Yes, and this is part of the grand experiment that's happening, guys, because
Yep.
this type of migrations will occur down the road. Let's put ourselves 10 years down the road, which is an eternity in crypto time. you will see migrations. Let's say one company buys out the other company. Why have two different blockchains if they're on two different ones? You will see migration and consolidation, and these are steps in that direction as an experiment. So this is pretty exciting, and also for collectors in this case. These collections, like any other collection, if it succeeds, it will take off, and you'll make a pretty mint, especially on the first movers like Utes and the
Yeah.
others.
What encourages me about this whole thing is a few pieces. One, they are making huge exposure for, the Bitcoin based NFTs.
Mhm.
Um, the other piece is, that's with these ordinals. The other piece is that they really are proving with their own nuts on the table what happens if you take a project and you move it to another blockchain. Like
Yes.
we have and so I suppose in that regard, I have a lot of gratitude to give Solana, because they have scared people enough to be like, I don't know about this, and we're gonna
Mhm.
make some expensive technical decisions, right?
Yep.
And so we have funny enough, we have Helium pooping the bed and then moving over to Solana. So
To
that was
Solana, guys.
one experiment that we had for a blockchain migration. Crazy.
We
And
went
then the
deep
other,
on it.
yeah, and then the other one here we have from Solana, which is where Helium's moving to, right? We have
Mhm.
DGod's Utes rather moving over to Polygon. So
Mhm.
this is brilliant because we have some really great examples of what happens when you
Yes.
do that. Why, and also
Yes.
what brings people to the point where they're like, all right, I'm out of this. Like how
Yeah.
much is too much bullshit for one project, right?
Yeah, this
So
this event is going to be a case study for anyone
yeah.
migrating from one blockchain to the other. You watch, this will be referenced down the road when other
Mhm.
migrations occur or consolidations of projects.
Yeah.
And this is what we're seeing here. NFTs really has a huge use case, not just these monkey
Art.
gifts
Yeah.
that they call them, or art or whatever, or gifts, or dive into it. You have the music industry, which Boston is involved with, and Eunice, who we had on the show in the past, where they can leverage their music and have royalties into eternity. And if it's sold from one collector to another collector, they still earn. So it's a certificate of authenticity. Also, it enforces the blockchain itself, the smart contract enforces the royalty payments as we
Mhm.
go. So it's a really great technology which is transparent to the world. So keep building, everyone. And Indo Crypto, don't mess up like the guy who burned his crypto punk while trying to use it as leverage to borrow. Oh, so
Ooh!
yes,
Ay, ay, ay. Yeah,
yeah,
Boston, I'm with it. That's
yes,
no,
sir,
thank
boss
you.
Don.
That's a kick in the yield testes. So so I hope you do get stoked about these technical things, because man, I live for this stuff. I think it's so exciting.
Yep.
We have real precedent to move to, and you heard it here first. Shout outs to my last class of early adopters. I see you. I see you.
Yes.
So you know him, you love him, you missed him. Scam Spankman Fried uh, bribed his Chinese officials to unfreeze the Alameda funds. Prosecutors allege. Oh
Oops.
no! Oh no! What's gonna happen, man? So let's look
Bro.
into this. Yeah, you know him, you love him, or you don't. So, U.S. prosecutors have accused former FTX CEO Scam Spankman Fried of bribing Chinese officials. Why? To unfreeze accounts linked with FTX affiliated hedge fund Alameda Research. According to a renewed indictment, Scam Spankman Fried took several measures to release the funds, including appointing attorneys to help unfreeze the accounts. He also used the name of persons unrelated to FTX to bypass restrictions by Chinese officials. So he's lying on papers. We don't get caught. It's fine. Eat some corn. Um, Scam Spankman Fried's lawyers negotiate revised bail conditions. We'll see how this works. After these methods didn't work, SBF allegedly instructed one Alameda employee to send bribe payment instructions to other employees. Why? Court filings reveal the bribe payments to be at least $40 million, bro. You playing with blue chips. What's this about? Prosecutors filed the bribery charges against SBF were criticized by public interest organization Inner City Press for not amending SBF's bail release conditions. Yeah, no kidding. Duh. SBF is out of $250 million. What is that? Recognizance bond after pleading not guilty to 8 criminal charges. These charges include money laundering, wire fraud, and violation of campaign finance laws. Bro, why you gotta like play bingo with crimes? Like he's trying to get a blackout card. What is this?
I'm wondering if they've returned those funds. All the campaign people that got the money.
Kids these days. Prosecutors later filed a superseding indictment with 4 additional charges that Bankman has not yet pleaded guilty or not guilty to. The bribery charge increases the total number of charges to 13. Bingo! Woo!
Lucky number. October, guys, is when this shit show begins.
Yeah, freaking bingo wings over here, SBF's lawyers recently agreed with prosecutors to allow the former CEO to use a phone. Why? And a laptop with limited instructions while on bail. No, he should have been given a freaking ball gag and forced to be on all fours with Bubba in the jail.
Guys, he's dangerous even with a telegraph. I'm telling you. No network, no communication.
Yeah, he shouldn't be allowed to use his eyelids. He's going to freaking Morse code people, bro.
That's right.
So... Additionally, SBF's parents, Joseph and Barbara, signed an affidavit to prevent Sam from accessing other devices in their home. Yeah, you think mommy and daddy are going to prevent their billionaire son from not doing things that they would financially benefit from? Please get down. They also swore not to bring new devices into their house. Oh, well, they pinky promised, so that's good.
They loaded it up before they brought in they promised that.
Bro, they're freaking playing over here with sock and boppers. They're not pulling punches, man. This is so if there is reason to believe SBF violated the new agreements, he must submit the new laptop and phone for examination. And bro, you think that this cat who's doing all this stuff doesn't know how to like cover a few tracks on a computer and a phone? Like,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah.
This is clearly playing with kid gloves. Judge Lewis Kaplan must approve these new conditions before they become effective. Hit him, bro. Don't give him nothing.
Spank him.
Judge Lewis, don't play games. U.S. prosecutors had previously expressed concern the SBF had tampered with witness material to the criminal case against him via the encrypted messaging signal. I'm saying things wrong.
Signal.
I love Signal so much.
App. Yeah, messaging
if you're not using Signal, y'all should get Signal. It's a dope little messenger on your phone that actually uses cryptography.
Yep.
It's end-to-end encryption. It works a lot like Bitcoin, but with messaging. So if you're not using it, pick it up. Even if turds like SBF use it, this is still just good tech.
It's proof that it works because he trusts it.
Yeah, Elon tipped off everyone. He's like, hey, use Signal. Basically, when all the censorship was happening, he's like, you can say stuff to your people without the internet saying you can't. So anyways, the judge also said the SBF, his use of private or rather VPNs to watch the NFL Super Bowl. Oh, that's the reason he was using a VPN. Yeah, it's to watch the Super Bowl. Because he's totally into football. Look at that guy, right? He had suggested he was taking measures to bypass government scrutiny.
And using VPN, he's a billionaire. His family is wealthy. Why are you cheating the system by using VPN? Come on, don't be cheap.
If you use VPN, you can get other shows on Netflix. He is with NordVPN, so he is set to appear for trial on October 2nd, 2023. So that's a while, man. He's gonna be watching NFL Super Bowl reruns for a while.
And Just Bossy, if you're open to it, we would love to have you as a commentator during these trials.
Oof. October, mark your calendars. Genesis executive received FTT and Serum tokens before public issuance. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, a recent report by Financial Times revealed that Genesis Global Capital had received a special allocation of FTT and Serum tokens that FTX offered FTT owners trading discounts and VIP status. Genesis executives reportedly bought tokens at a discount before FTX offered FTT and Serum to the public in 2019 and 2022. FTX filed for bankruptcy in November 22 after a leaked Alameda balance sheet revealed a large holdings of FTT. Alameda allegedly pledged FTT as collateral for loans it took out.
Oof.
The collapsed exchange and affiliate Alameda Research owes Genesis about $226 million. It's chump change, really.
Yeah. Where are
I
the
mean, I,
billions?
I lend that out to my friends on the reg.
Yeah.
I don't.
IOUs, baby.
Yeah.
IOUs work.
Look, I'm good for it. So I don't know, man. You let
Dumb
me
and
know what
dumber.
you think about this. I think this is a hot crock of crap.
Yeah, he's playing the system and you know,
He's got buddies in the government turning blind eyes and passing cash in hands. That's what it feels like to me still.
yeah. And it quieted down for all his cronies too. If you notice, it's not spoken of. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's there.
So speaking of giants in the Web3 space, let's talk about CZ. You know him, you'll love him, or you don't.
Mhm.
You probably do. He's pretty rad. Is Binance in hot water? CZ sued by the CFTC. Watch the market report on blah blah blah. This week on the market report, our beloved host, blah blah blah. Let's get into
Beloved.
this. Good for you, man. Yeah. I'm just eating a sucker. What do you mean? The US CFTC has filed lawsuits against Binance and their CEO CZ for trading violations. Okay, then. According to a Bloomberg report, according to the CFTC, Binance failed to meet its regulatory obligations by not properly registering with the derivatives regulator. Jaime, what did you think about that statement?
I mean, if he didn't, he didn't. And now Binance.com is a foreign entity doing this, and they are registered in other places. So this is part of that clarity that needs to occur.
Yeah.
So if there are violations, of course he will have problems. But if he didn't, or if yeah, it's jurisdiction also.
Yeah.
Does CFTC in the states they have full jurisdiction? I don't know if the CFTC has jurisdiction in like globally.
And I
I'm
don't
not
think
sure.
so. And this doesn't feel like a serious issue. This feels like in a normal company, some tech audit happened, and they're like, "You
Mhm.
actually missed these marks. How are you going to remediate it?" I've had to work
Correct.
with those people in the past. So,
Yeah.
anyways, the cryptocurrency exchange has been the focus of a CFTC investigation since 21. The exchange acknowledged in February that it would likely face regulatory action in the U.S. and was already working with regulators. What does
Yeah.
this mean for the failure
So
of
it's
Binance in
known.
the U.S.? And how big of an impact will it have on the Binance market share and the crypto market as a whole? I don't think it'll have any impact, honestly. I think it's FUD. Bitcoin hash rate spikes as analysts say miners come back online. So Bitcoin's hash rate spikes to an all-time high of
Well, they
300
changed
and
subject.
yeah, no kidding. But I still wanted to cover this because this is rad.
Okay.
I know. Shouldn't this be bold, homies?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeet.
telling you. They're
Well,
wagging the dog over here.
this is relevant though, I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bitcoin's hash rate spiked to an all-time high of 398 terahash per second on March 23rd, with analysts speculating this is not correct. This is petahash, guys.
Yeah. Yes.
Or
So
exahash. Yeah.
so hash rate is going up. We're in the industry, guys, and we know people are turning these puppies on because that's when you should turn it on. Is when you know where the bottom of the market is, and you look at your financials. Say, can we afford it? Yes, let's go. So that's what's happening. Short
Yeah,
story.
and basically people are plugging stuff back in. They had to turn them off because they weren't profitable, and
Mhm.
now that they're crossing into profit, people are turning their rigs back on. So, and even GPU miners are starting to do that.
Yep.
Finally, GPU miners are break even or better. They're not making a grip, but they're like, as long as it's not costing me money to leave these running, money printer go burr, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and here's CZ's response, to all that stuff we were talking about.
Yep.
So
he goes point by point on what they're, and he's mentioning it's not a complete picture, and they even acknowledged back in February, hey, we are dealing with this situation with the CFTC. So here's the details, and he expands on the details of the CFTC's arguments.
Yeah. So I will go over these points here. So technology for compliance and US blocks. So Binance.us has developed best-in-class tech to ensure compliance. Binance.com is the
Which
first
is the global.
which is the non-US exchange,
Correct.
which I miss. It was way better, to implement a mandatory KYC program, and remains today to have one of the highest standards in KYC and AML. We block US users by nationality, which sucks. That's the dumbest crap, in my opinion. It stifles
And it's
US.
because there's no regulatory clarity. Like if we had that framework, now Binance.com can now adapt to it. But as the standing is, they're going lawsuits, they're regulating through lawsuits, then of course they pull out of the US.
And what pissed me off, when they first did this Binance.com to Binance US thing, they did not have Doge on Binance US. And so I was like, bro, like I'm like straight trading Doge all the time. Like, where am I supposed to go? I don't want to use freaking weirdo exchanges that have low volume. Like Binance.com has this huge amount of volume, so it was easy to trade Doge on there. And so I was pissed when that happened. And then I was hyped when they finally dropped Doge on Binance US. At very least, they gave us a little piece of candy
Access
out of
to
their
it, yeah.
purse that had some hair on it. Facts are facts. Yes. Anyways, we block U.S. users by nationality with another customer and IP address, including commonly used VPN endpoints outside of the U.S., mobile carrier, device fingerprints, bank deposits, and withdrawals. Man, they cockblock us left and right.
Trying to
blockchain
comply.
deposits and withdrawals, credit card BIN numbers, and more. Man, why are U.S. citizens put in this position? Like, our regulators and our government officials are screwing the normal people.
The U.S.
Is bad
from participating in this.
You should be pissed, and you should very, very clearly write to your senators.
Yes.
And congressmen.
Coinbase began an effort on that case also, because they're also involved, and they've been working with these regulators too.
So we are aware of no other company using systems more comprehensive or more effective than Binance.
Yes,
that's probably true. They are not. They're pulling out
play.
every stop. It sucks, but they are. I kind of wish they weren't as good. That way I could have options, but who knows? Who knows? I said who knows? Who knows?
Okay.
Cooperation and transparency with law enforcement. Binance is committed to transparency and cooperation with regulators and law enforcement in the U.S. and globally. Binance currently has more than 750 people in the compliance teams, many with prior law enforcement and regulatory agency background. To date, we have handled 55,000 law enforcement requests and assisted U.S. law enforcement freeze and seize with more than $125 million in funds in 2022 alone, and $160 million in 23 so far. So they're legit. Registrations and licenses. So Binance US holds the highest number of licenses and registrations globally.
Yep.
And then
money transmittal and everything else to transact, to exist as an exchange.
And for
not
trading
in the US yet. Yes, exactly.
Right. For trading, Binance.com does not trade for profit or manipulate the markets under any circumstance. Binance trades in a number of situations. Our revenues are in crypto. We do need to convert them from time to time to cover expenses in fiat or other cryptocurrencies. We have affiliates that provide liquidity for less liquid pairs. These affiliates are monitored specifically to not have large profits.
Yep. 0x is one of those, and a few other protocols that provide that liquidity.
So what you should see from all of this is that he's like, yeah. They're blowing smoke up your keister because uh, all of this is stuff we have to do. We have to keep our head on a swivel, and sometimes little tiny details get missed, and we have to fix them with regulatory agencies. Don't cry about it. Don't freak out. No FUD here. Here's all the facts, right?
Yeah,
So
and we've known those of us that have been in the industry for a while. Binance has always quickly reacted.
mhm,
The term "safu" came from Binance
right,
CZ. It's because their policy is transparency as quickly as possible, and when issues rise, they immediately begin addressing it and openly tell their community and even participants on what is happening. So the fact that he immediately responded on the same day of that announcement by the CFTC shows, and even shows, dude, we're already working with you guys back in
bruh,
February, you know? So it's,
bruh.
yeah, they just got to go public and create this wag the dog for you.
Yeah, you get well. If you shake it more than 3 times, you're playing with it. That's what my dad always said. Uh, so our next story here, Elizabeth Warren. You know her and you love her, or you don't. Maybe you don't.
No, I don't.
AKA Pocahontas, right?
Yeah.
Because she was
Jesus.
claiming she was Native American when she's in fact not, and she actually paid for college by claiming she was Native American. So she's one of those fellas.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
Now she
Elizabeth
wants to take
Warren.
your crypto, your store
She
value.
she doesn't like your Bitcoin. Elizabeth Warren is pushing the Senate to ban your crypto wallet. Oh yeah, what kind of fear, uncertainty, and doubt are you trying to peddle here? Warren is back with an anti-money laundering. Oh, that's what it is. We got to protect you from yourself. Anti-money laundering act that would, among other things, make it legal, or mostly make it illegal for you to use your own crypto wallet. Now, here's the deal: are you going to make cash illegal off the bat? Is cash illegal now because that goes into money laundering? We
Yeah.
don't allow cash. The dollar bill is bad, right? Like, bro, get it. Sit down. Um, Warren vowed in February to reintroduce the Digital Assets Anti-Money Laundering Act. Wow, you're such a virtue signaler. A proposal that went nowhere when she first introduced it with Kansas Senator Roger Marshall in December 22. While the proposal's stated purpose is to protect Americans from scams. Oh, yeah, protect you from yourself. Only use our scams. It is more likely to drive cryptocurrency business overseas and weaken consumer choice. And I hope that's not a goal of theirs, by the way. It prohibits the use of digital asset mixers and requires self hosted wallets, like the kind you keep on your cell phone, along with miners and validators to have anti money laundering policies. Many of those entities may not even be able to impose such requirements, meaning they would simply need to shut down or stop servicing American users. The proposal is the wrong one at an opportune time. While recent high profile frauds and thefts demonstrate the need for some crypto regulators and regulations and enforcements, the bill amounts to a smear campaign against the industry that would make Americans more dependent on traditional banks, which,
Yes.
duh.
Yes.
Uh,
And get this, it's the same fucking thing. So now instead of you deciding, you know what, I'm going to use this to buy a boat, now you got to go to the bank and they're going to ask you, what is this for? A stranger asking you for your own store value, why you're going to use it for. You know, it's like
because
unbelievable.
I want to. Ta-da!
Yes. And then if you do answer that, they wink at you like, are you sure this is what you want to, the IRS report to go back saying that because you want to? Please understand what she's trying to do here.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. Oof.
And then they can add cameras in your bedrooms to make sure that you only poke people you should, and the regulation continues. Let's see. So she's simply wrong when she says that cryptocurrency is the method of choice for international drug traffickers and
Yeah.
terrorists. In fact, only about $10 billion or less in cryptocurrencies is even involved with money laundering each year, compared to 800 billion and $2 trillion laundered in conventional currencies. Bro, I'm telling you, people use Benjamin Franklin blue strips to do this kind of crap. All the sketchy stuff happens in blue strip Benjamins. I'm telling you.
And
Um,
crypto is traceable, except for a couple of
it's
protocols. It's
pseudo
traceable.
anonymous. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So why are you going to prohibit when you could actually trace it? Like,
Kids these days, man.
yeah.
It's because they don't control it being inflated or not, and that's the real matter. They want
Yes.
to be able to have their funny money
It's
actually
the
hold value,
banksters
so they can
pushing this.
keep on telling their jokes. So the bill is particularly harsh on decentralized finance or DeFi, including non-custodial ones, requiring platforms to record the personal information of users and submit it to the government without a warrant or probable cause.
Mm-hmm.
And so this gets
Patriot
into
Act.
constitutional. Yeah. It's a bit like blaming the city because you were mugged on the sidewalk. The bill also lumps together all miners, including those mining for themselves, as opposed to processing transactions for others as money service businesses. It also ignores the fact that miners can provide other services unrelated to transactions.
Yes. Security. It's it's ignorance.
Yeah. So, uh, make sure you're careful who you vote for. That's all I can say here. Most absurdly, companies that develop the software would be required to register as money service providers, adopt anti money laundering policies, and report customers to Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. By this logic, electronics stores like Best Buy and Micro Center should register as money service providers because the cell phones they sell could be used to commit fraud. That's a good point. That's actually a logically sound argument. They shouldn't have to do that. The point is, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Warren also seems unaware that blockchain and related technologies are not the same as cryptocurrency. What do you mean? And not all cryptocurrencies are openly traded or usable for purchases. Also true. For example, users of the Brave browser, which blocks advertisements, can earn basic attention token by agreeing to watch ads and can then give them to content creators who can exchange them with Brave for money the advertisers paid. It's a closed ecosystem with tokens having no monetary value because they symbolize time spent watching ads. It's laughable to regulate companies such as Brave like banks or brokerages. Will casino chips also be
Yes.
regulated? And that's the real
Amazing.
argument here. Or
These are
frequent
tokens.
flyer miles or interstellar credit currency of the online game Eve Online.
Yep.
Yeah. Or
Yep.
Gil from Final Fantasy, right?
This is full Gestapo, man. They want to
It's
control and know
it's
everything.
dumb. It's so dumb.
1984. She is Miss 1984, guys.
Yeah, and we're in all this because we think that you have a right to life, liberty, and property, and you do not have to be held liable to explain to someone why you live
Yeah.
your life the way you do,
You're
or
not guilty.
why you own your property, or why you do what you do with your property. That's not their business unless you make it their business.
You're
As
not
long as you
guilty
don't,
until proven innocent. You're innocent until proven guilty.
well, that's how it works. But
It should be. I know.
yeah,
That's my point. She's trying to make you guilty before proven innocent.
yeah. So I won't even go on. This is jokes
Yeah.
on a plane. But I do want you to see that we have to address this type of thing because this is just ignorance and it's not good for our country. It's not good for the world either. So
No.
uh
Individuals is not. Families is not.
downvote max bidding.
Yep.
So the other thing I want to show you here is that apparently NFTs as a utility have almost 90% of Ethereum users or the Ethereum supply is being held off of crypto exchanges. So what does this mean? It probably means people are using NFTs and actually use MetaMask wallets and whatnot, and they
Yes.
themselves are holding
And
custody.
they're
So
staking on their own nodes also instead of an exchange. So it's actually being used.
so this is hype. Let's read the news here. The amount of world's second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, ETH, being held on crypto trading platforms has hit its lowest point since 2015, as nearly 90% of circulating ETH is being held by entities controlling their own wallets. According to on-chain analytics provider Sentiment, the total supply of ETH held on exchanges is currently at its lowest level since July 2015, with only 10.3% of existing ETH available. The remaining almost 90% of Ethereum is being held by wallets controlled by users at a time, in which liquid staking services allow them to retain liquidity while staking are plentiful. So the rise of self-custody has been fueled by increasing concerns about the security of exchanges and the need for investors to have full control over their assets. The rise of decentralized finance protocols on the cryptocurrencies network have also led to growing demand for ETH on chain. A low proportion of ETH on exchanges means that if significant buying pressure were to be seen on the market, the cryptocurrency's price would likely go up, as there's little supply readily available to satisfy demand. Cool. As Crypto Globe reported, over $100 million worth of ETH has been taken off of circulation since the cryptocurrencies network transitioned from proof of work consensus algorithm to proof of stake consensus algorithm. And that's just like people are staking their ETH and they can't quickly remove it from stake. And so they're like, I mean, yeah, if we're in a freaking bear market, I'm staking my money and just going to let it keep growing, at least tokens, and I'm not going to have to worry about trading blind in a bear market. And then, yeah, maybe I'll take profits after the network upgrades go. We're good. We're in this for the long. And I think that's how people are thinking about it, right? Yep. The cryptocurrency's deflationary trend has been growing over time, with its supply having dropped over 66,000 ETH since the network's merge upgrade over 180 days ago, to the point where there are now 120,000 ETH circulating on the market. Ethereum transactions started burning ETH after the London hard fork, which included the implementation of the Ethereum Improvement Proposal 1559. The EIP changed the way transaction fees on the network work. Instead of an auction system, users now pay a base fee for the transaction to be processed by validators, and can alternatively tip them to get the transactions to be processed faster.
Better system.
Yeah. It's not too different though.
Yeah, because of the tipping.
Yeah, because you're still able to cut in line by paying more.
Yeah.
But anyways, at very least, you're not like guessing what the base fee will be. That's
and
at least
two,
fixed.
I remember trying to do a transaction and it was charging way more than
Dude. It was $80 to mint an NFT at one point. I was like, I'm not kick rocks, bro.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm gonna go play on testnet. So Ethereum staking has been seen as a source of revenue for both hodlers and exchanges. These platforms offer users a staking service, allowing them to maintain liquidity through a separate token while locking their ETH on chain to earn rewards and collect a portion of the rewards in exchange. NASDAQ listed cryptocurrencies exchange Coinbase has, for example, reported revenue of over 200 million in the fourth quarter of last year through its staking, earn, and custody products. Notably, Ethereum's highly anticipated Shanghai upgrade is one step closer to being activated on the network's mainnet, following a final dress rehearsal that was carried out on the Goerli testnet, which involved a simulation of staked ETH withdrawals. Once activated, the upgrade will complete Ethereum's full transition to a proof-of-stake network, allowing validators to withdraw their staked ETH and rewards earned from adding and approving blocks. So did you hear that? More network upgrades.
Yes.
Lower transaction fees, higher speeds.
They're moving.
So that's kind of what we saw this on Polygon. We saw this on ETH. We're seeing this on a bunch of other networks we've been talking about. And
this is good. This is good. And it's
we build in the
April.
bear markets. We build in the bear markets.
And when you're that large, like an ETH versus the other smaller ones, ETH has to go carefully. They really have to measure 5 times before they do a cut, because that's what that provides safety and confidence into the entire network. So here's the next steps. Amazing.
Yeah. And on the FUD level, let's talk a little bit about another compromise that happened, and let's look at the security on it. This is our last article for the day here. So SafeMoon liquidity pair compromised in a $8.9 million hack. Wham wham. So BNB based exchange SafeMoon was compromised earlier today, according to an on-chain record, resulting in close to $9 million being drained from its liquidity pool. So why did that happen? Let's look at that. To the SafeMoon community, we want to inform you that our LP has been compromised. The Binance-based exchange wrote on Twitter, adding that it was taking swift action to resolve the issue. Almost $8.9 million in assets were transferred out of the liquidity pool, according to the Explorer. A recent update may have introduced a public burn bug that facilitated the hack firm PeckShield said. PeckShield's crushing it, by the way. They're like
Yeah,
in all
they're
sorts of
doing
news
amazing.
articles for finding pwns.
Like immediately, they even
They're
identify
good.
the source of the problem.
Yeah, the hacker was able to artificially raise the price of the SFM tokens using a code function, and then sold enough tokens back to the liquidity pool in the same transaction to effectively drain
Wrapped.
the wrapped BNB from the contract. PeckShield confirmed. By exploiting the public mint bug, the actor can burn most of the SFM token in the pair, which increases the SFM price, PeckShield told the block, adding, with that, the actor basically buys SFM at the beginning, next exploits the public mint bug to increase the SFM price, and then sells the SFM with the profit greater than $8.9 million. So basically, they found a little loop because you can have buying and selling in the same bit of code. They were able to basically give themselves a handy. Is kind of what they did financially.
Do you think Chat GPT, if they drop that smart contract and you look find the bug,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wonder if they
No,
found it that way.
they might have. It can work that way. There's other AIs besides ChatGPT that people are using too. But yeah, if you do train an AI on different security models, like, hey, here's things that quality assurance tries to prevent. Yeah, you can get there. And I think what's happening a lot of the times is people who aren't blue teams. A blue security team is a team that goes and basically tightens up the security. They build the wall up to prevent attackers, as opposed to a red team in security is someone who does penetration testing. They try to punch holes in the wall. And then there's purple teams, which kind of do a bit of both. I've typically been a purple team security person. So if you're a red team, but you're also a black hat, yeah, you're going to see if you can't get paid. So that makes sense. As opposed to telling them and maybe seeing if you get paid by, bug bounties, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So anyways, there's no FUD here on crypto itself. This is simply a smart contract
Software, exactly. A software upgrade that they did not catch a bug in it and someone took advantage.
Yeah, so that's our show for today. Thank you so much for joining us here on Hump Day with Crypto and Coffee on Decentralized TV, your number one place for Web3 information. And until next time, this is Jaime. I'm the Daily Lord.
This is Brendan, and we are here to serve you.
Keep calm and huddle on. You know it. You know it. You love it.
Let's keep building.
I typically make things weird, but my coffee's not done yet. So time to get weird. I'm just kidding. Have a great day. We'll see you on Friday.
See ya.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Whoop, whoop.
Wednesday, hump day. Let's get to Friday.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
Wow. Yeah.
We can do a lot of interesting things for Friday.
True. See ya.